this is your last chance to enter to win one of these figures. So what are you doing? Today, we're talking about this one, Teela from Masters of the Universe. We've covered Lino from Thundercats, we've covered Magneto and Sabretooth from X-Men, so of course we have to talk about Masters of the Universe with this lovely lady. Whoa! It's a toy and it's a cartoon, shut up. Front of the box, wow. This might actually be my favorite artwork out of all of them so far. Look at this. Look at the colors. Now, there is something about Masters of the Universe artwork already. So even if you're buying Mattel stuff, you have incredible artwork on those boxes on the front and back. This feels like it's capturing that and the nostalgia of the old stuff, but the colors and the line work in this is one of my favorite styles. And I don't even know what you call this style, but lots of line work, beautiful colors, creepy boy in the background. Hello, Mad Hatter. What are you doing back there? I don't know. Anyway, beautiful, stunning, love it, good job. We'll find out who did it in a minute. Side of the box is actually also very nice. Really good artwork. Back of the box, you get a little bit of bio stuff, and then you get everybody involved. Now, I guess this is not a toy. These are the beautiful artists behind not only the figure, but the entire packaging, and I am so thankful for all of them. So get familiar with those names. Oh, speaking of Mattel, you flip the flap, you get a good shot of the figure in a nice little diorama. Where do you get that? I don't know. Call up your local guy. Then you get a tough to see photo, not a photo, see-through panel of her, but there's plastic. So how can we look at it better? Well, open them up. Just become an out-of-box collector. Stop collecting in it. Take it out. Put the box behind her. And if you don't buy the timed editions, then sometimes you might get a package like this, which is just an literal empty reminder that you missed out on the timed version. So follow Mondo on social media. Sign up for newsletters on their website and know when a timed edition's out so you get all those extra goodies. Wow! Holy smokes. Okay, let's talk about the stand. This stand that comes with her has this nice etched-in base, sculpted I guess is the word you would use, and then the rest of it is kind of similar to what we've seen in the past, but this is what we got with Sabretooth, and this is what we got with her. Huh. Why? But I don't know why, but I prefer this one. This is much nicer and more unique to the line. So let's just take a deep dive into these accessories. Also, if you want to buy this, you can now, and whatever the situation is with tariffs or no tariffs or semi-tariffs or 90-day pause tariffs, you can get this thing for the price it's supposed to be before all that. Right now, because it's available in stock with Mondo. Starting off with the shield, look at those details. Goodness sakes. Now this is a good choice on the gold. It's just maybe not the best edge work. It's not doing the job it needs to do, but overall, I like this. I like the appeal, the aesthetic that it's giving off. Now, on the backside, it's got a lot of that color, and on the front, it just seemed like a little weak. I don't know what's going on, but it does fit the vibe and the theme where it's kind of got this animation mixed with reality with like the fur and everything, so it doesn't really bother me. I'm just being picky and noticing that. Plus, with your human eyes, it's not nearly as bad. You get this spear, which has a few different colors going on, so let's check that out. The color seems a little bit thicker as far as the paint work goes, which is nice. The wood, nope. The leather wrap section looks really nice, actually. The dark and the light colors really does give it the illusion of being leather. And then the end down here with the little spiral piece looks nice. Okay. Another one of those scenarios where I wish that Mondo would make their weapons like pull apart, like we've seen with some other brands, so then you can just slide it through the hand instead of trying to work it around. I don't know how we're gonna do this. The sword and sheath, wow. Now this is nice. Now I'm also curious why they put the fur here but then didn't do it here. It just didn't make any logical sense to do. It feels like it could have pulled it all together, tied it in, but my goodness, this is good. Now this is where they're shining on the paint. The metal bits here, but the leather, like all of this with the straps, this is a huge highlight for me, artistically speaking. I'm a big fan. Obviously this belt piece, are gonna have to figure out how she comes apart and put this on her, but then the sword, look at that. Oh my goodness, that is nice. Good little details of the red really makes this thing pop and makes me happy. The hands that she's got on by default are just these grippies, these basic grippies, which again, I am a little concerned about how I'm gonna get those to wrap around those things. You have to like really stretch these fingers out. We'll find out when we do it. Alternate hands in the box, she's got a couple of punching fists. Punching fists? I mean, she's just got fists. She doesn't have to punch with them. And you get a couple of these just open palm hands, which again, nice sculpt work. The paint is good. It's just that these plastic joints, it's not the same color skin tone. It kind of is. It's worse on camera, better in person. Alternate head in the box is this very angry one, which looks fantastic, man. Just like the Rogue that they have from the X-Men line, like the paint work. It's very captivating. Fall into that same category, obviously different painters, different artists behind this line. Goodness sakes, it's so nice. All the colors through the eyes are working really, really well. This is a nice alternate head sculpt. And on by default is this one, which is, whoa, that's a good head sculpt. The paint, just like, it looks so much like airbrushing, like all of this going through here. How? I mean, I know it's the 1/6 scale, so you can get away with this stuff a little bit better, but oh my goodness, it's so captivating to look at. It's a stunning piece, no doubt about it, and I actually really like this faux fur stuff mixed in with the painted plastics and stuff. This is working really, really well. Now, if you continue looking down through the figure and all of the details here, you get down to the boots with the fur. And then you make a funny joke about that because there was a song one time about it. Now, on the back of it, there's a little bit of paint that just, it got pushed off skew somehow. So the gray strings should be shifted over to the right just a tad. But, you know, you're not going to notice that when you're looking back here. Because you're probably going to have it facing this way. I think this might have some pretty decent articulation. I'm not exactly sure on the release time of her compared to some of the other figures we've reviewed on this channel so far, but she seems to be pretty good. So let's start with the head. It looks down pretty well. It looks up, not at all. It's basically just looks forward. That's okay. There's a lot going on back here preventing that. A little bit of side to side, nothing crazy. And then the arms, oh boy, very tight. Pretty decent. They are very tight, so just be careful with that. And then you got this single jointed elbow, goes just shy of 90 degrees, and then you got a standard ball peg for the wrist. There's some body articulation in this area, has a little bit of wiggle, nothing crazy. It doesn't really crunch much, looks back really, really well. And then there's no waist articulation, so let's move on down to the legs, which do almost perfect splits. We have some rotation there because it is a ball joint. Just be careful not to rub too many pieces together because then you can start messing up the paint, which is it's just gonna happen with any brand that fully paints their figures. Double jointed knees are working really well, and I believe, yes, there's rotation at those two sections, and then your standard ball peg for the ankles. Now this one does seem a little loose, which is, well, they both do. So that might be a bit of a concern depending on how you display it, but she does come with a stand, so maybe not the end of the world. Now, if you are one of the people that submitted to win or a Ko-fi member, you can potentially get this figure. Just maybe heat these joints up. I don't know if I've gotten them pretty loose by the time this review is over, but just be careful, you don't want to break it. All right, well, those fingers are technically glued together, so I'll leave that up to you if you want to break them. Mondo, please start making your weapons pop apart in some section to slide into the hand so they don't get loose over time. Now, much like the ankles, this wrist joint is loose, which is unfortunate, but there are solutions to those kinds of things depending on how you want to set up your figures. Obviously, I'm not going to do that because someone's going to win this. But yes, you do need to really bend those fingers to get the handle in there, so it is a little tricky. Now, I'm curious how many people have an issue trying to get this thing on her, around her waist, because it's a little scary. You don't want to break stuff when the joints are very tight. It doesn't give you the feeling that it's supposed to come apart, so I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we don't do that because I don't want to break it for whoever's going to win it. But it would look way cooler hanging over her. Anyway, there we go with that one from Masters Universe. So if you want to watch more from Mondo Mayhem, don't forget, hit the link down in the description, read it, enter, potentially win one of these things. Click the top link there to watch some more. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.